By the time that the mid 60s had rolled around, a lot of people were covering Beatles song, and we're getting to a trend with this song. Black artists, everybody from Fats Domino to Rita Franklin and to the artist Stevie Wonder who covered this song, they're having great success. Earth, Wind and Fire, everybody else. This song basically, I think it appealed to both black and white audiences because it was a song of peace and love where people were fighting, but the Beatles said it simply: we can work it out. Now, on Behind the Tracks today, we're going to talk about the significance of this song, which was written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon. First issue is a double A side single with Day Tripper, December 65. The chanson was recorded during the sessions for the band's Rubber Soul album. The single reached number one in Britain, where it won the Ivor Novello Award for the top-selling A side of 65. It was also number one in the United States, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. In the UK, it was the seventh highest selling single of the 60s. We Can Work It Out is a rare example of a Lennon-McCartney collaboration from the period in the Beatles' career, and that the two songwriters worked together as that had been had when writing the group's early hits of 63. A Day in the Life, Baby You're a Rich Man, and I've Got a Feeling are among the other notable exceptions to this trend from the group's later career. Now, McCartney wrote the words and music to the verses and the chorus, with lyrics that might have been personal and probably relating to a relationship with Jane Asher. McCartney then presented the song to Lennon, who contributed the bridge. I took it to John to finish it off, and we wrote the middle together, which is nice. Life is very short. There's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. And on the song, he goes from the left to the right, if you got that mix. Now, like he's walking. Now, it was George Harrison's idea to put the middle into three-quarter time, like a German waltz. That came on a session. Is one of the cases of the arrangement being done on a session. Now, released on 3rd December 65, recorded on October 20th and 29, 65. Studio was EMI in London at a very brisk 2:15. Now, released on Parlophone and Capitol worldwide with George Martin as a producer. Now, they were getting very introspective at the time. The previous single was Help, and the next one was Paperback Writer. Now, with his intimations of mortality, Lennon's contribution to 12-bar bridge contrasts typically with what we saw as McCartney's cajoling optimism. A contrast also seen in other collaborations by the pair, such as Getting Better and I've Got a Feeling. As Lennon told Playboy in an infamous interview in 1980, in We Can Work It Out, Paul did the first half, I did the middle eight, but you got Paul writing We Can Work It Out, We Can Work It Out, real optimistic, and me impatient. Life is very short, there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. Now, in author Ian MacDonald's view, some critics have overemphasized the extent of McCartney's optimism in the song and neglect the urgency in passages written by McCartney, such as the line, do I have to keep on talking and I can't go on. Lennon in the middle shifts focus from McCartney's concrete reality in D Mixolydian to a philosophical perspective in B minor. Now, ironically, MacDonald also noted that Lennon's passages are so suited to the Salvation Army harmonium that it's hard to imagine them not being composed on it. The swell pedal crescendos he adds to the verses are, on the other hand, washes, textural-wise, added in the studio, the first of their kind on a Beatles record, and signposted in a rich sound palette of Revolver. Now, for the first time for one of their singles, the Beatles filmed promotional clips for We Can Work It Out and Day Tripper. Subsequently known as the Intertel promos, these clips were intended as a way to save the band having to appear in person on popular TV shows such as Ready, Steady, Go, and Top of the Pops, and also ensured that the Beatles reached their large international audience. Now, filming took place at Twickenham Studios in Twickenham, London, on November 23, 1965, with Joe McGrath as director. The Beatles made a total of 10 black and white videos that day, filming clips for the new songs as well as their previous hit singles I Feel Fine, Ticket to Ride, and Help. 3 of the films were mime performances of We Can Work It Out, in all of which Lennon was seated at an harmonium. Now, the most frequently broadcast of the 3 was a straightforward performance piece with the group wearing black suits. In the description of Rolling Stone journalist Rob Sheffield, at first they're playing it all straight in their suits until John sets out to make Paul crack up on camera. He makes it impossible for anyone else to keep a straight face. By the end, he's playing the organ with his feet. Now, this is not a chippy, happy, dippy song as well. This is a song of total resignation that the person he's trying to deal with has basically already left. Now, on the November 85 promo films, one of the November 65 promo films was included in the Beatles 2015 video compilation 1, and the third promo clip was included in 3-disc versions of a compilation titled 1 Plus. Now, in a discussion about which of the two sides should be the A-side of the new single, Lennon argued for Day Tripper, differing with the majority view that We Can Work It Out was more commercial. On November 15, EMI announced that the A-side would be We Can Work It Out, only for Lennon to publicly contradict this 2 days later. As a result, the single was marking at a double A-side. Lennon's champion of Day Tripper, for which is the principal writer, was based on his belief that the Beatles' rock sound should be favored over a softer style of We Can Work It Out. Airplane point-of-sale requests soon proved that We Can Work It Out to be more popular of the two sides. Now, there's been cover versions, of course. An interesting cover version by Deep Purple in 1968. But Stevie Wonder's version on his signed, sealed, delivered album was released as single in 1971 and went top 15 in the U.S. on Billboard, and did get him his 5th Grammy nomination for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. Cashbox described his version as spectacular dance track, which returns Wonder to his earlier straight-ahead teen self, complete with harmonica solo. Other artists that have covered it, Petula Clark, on her 66 album I Love, is too perky for its own good. There's a version by Humble Pie, a blues version. Now, the Four Seasons covered it in 1976. It was on the soundtrack of a weird compilation documentary called All This in World War II. Other artists who have covered the song include the great Dionne Warwick, Valerie Simpson, Melanie, Chaka Khan, Maxine Brown, Brass Construction, King Missile, Johnny Mathis, Judy Collins, Big Ute, Tesla, Plain White Tees, Tom Jones, Heather Nova, Steel Pulse, and Rick Wakeman. Now, in the personal list for the song, some people say that Harrison was the tambourine, but it is probably likely that Starr played it. Everett credits Harrison, citing the tambourine's placement in stereo image with the 3 other instruments recorded as part of the bass track, and Gunnarsson and Margolin also credit Harrison. So worldwide, Australia went number 1, Belgium number 3, Canada number 1, Finland number 1, Ireland number 1, Italy number 5, Netherlands number 1, and New Zealand number 1. Rhodesia went all the way to number 1. South Africa number 2, Sweden at the top of the charts on both. UK Record Retailer 1, US Billboard Hot 100 1, US Cashbox Top 100 1, and West German Hit Parade number 2. It was a top 16 year-end on the 66 charts, 11 on Cashbox, and sold 1 million copies in the States. Now, the Stevie Wonder version went 49 in Canada, 27 UK, 13 in the States. US on the R&B charts, sold singles, Cashbox number 9, and year-end charts, 27 on the R&B soul Billboard charts, and 96 on Cashbox. So, by the time the early 70s rolled around, well after the riots of 67, 68, and into 69, Stevie Wonder's version, not say it was a little bit late, but it might have been more interesting for him to work with other black artists to get this. But for some people, see it as a peace song. I see it as a very bad relationship song. But the thing is, with Paul McCartney, he was screwing around with Jane Asher and still chasing her. So I don't know if it's more of a possession thing or anything else. But Jane Asher was too smart to put up with Paul McCartney for a long time, and of course led to Linda Eastman. But he had, I think, 2 or 3 girlfriends on the side with both of them. So, I mean, I like cookies too, but I don't eat 3 at once. I'm not the cookie monster, and that's what every member of the Beatles, except for Ringo. I don't think Ringo slept around too much on Maureen, but I know George. Don't even talk about that. When when you have such a beautiful woman in your bed, and Harrison was still going around, pretty freaky. So We Can Work It Out, again, one of the most important singles of 1966, part of double A, and it motivated the Beatles to do more videos so they didn't have to tour. So, if anything, it's historic in that aspect. But the song itself at 2 minutes is loaded with lyrics. There's a lot going on in 2 minutes, and maybe at 2 minutes 30 or 3 minutes it would be more triacal. So thanks for listening, and if you like our Beatles podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.